Hello everyone, I hope all of you are doing well. So today I'm going to tell you about how you can write introductions for your answer writing for UPSC. And for this, one of the most important things is that you should know how to write the introduction, and this introduction should be crisp, it should be to the point, and it should actually lead the examiner right into what you want to get into when it comes to the body of the question or the answer that you are writing. So for answer writing, I think there are only three types of introductions you need to focus on, because UPSC questions are rather analytical and direct, and for them, if you just stick to these three type of major introduction types depending on the question, you can easily answer that particular answer by writing the introduction. So first of all, the thing that you need to remember is about what is the word limit for an introduction. So the word limit for an introduction is for 10 marker question, which is 150 words, you should not write more than 30 to 40 words, maximum 30 to 40 words introduction, which is simple, straightforward and very short. You should also write introduction just in 2-3 lines. Don't try to extend your introduction into a whole para or something. Just write 2-3 lines and then move on to the next line. For 250 word question, which is a 15 marker, you should not write more than 50 to 60 words, maybe 70 words maximum. Even that is a lot, but 50 to 60 word introduction will do. So this is the word limit. The second thing I'm going to tell you is about what kind of introductions can you write for answer writing. The first kind of introductions are nothing but definition based. Definition based introductions are basically those introductions in which you just provide the definition of the keyword in that particular question. Whatever is asked in the keyword, you provide the definition of it, and then you directly follow into the body of that question with a connecting statement. And the connecting statement is already given in the question. So I will give you an example of this. An example of this is going to be something like this. Definition based introduction. Just in the mains that was just held in 2022, just a few days back, for the 2021 exam, one of the questions that was asked was, this was I think question number 1 in GS3 paper. Explain the difference computing methodology of India's GDP, gross domestic product, before 2015 and after 2015. So after 2015, the way India used to calculate its GDP was changed. So they are simply asking you what is the difference between the two. So what will be the answer introduction? Just the introduction for this. It will be very simple. You will provide the definition of the keyword, because here they are asking about a certain concept. So you have to provide the definition of that concept. So GDP or gross domestic product, you can write the whole form here, is the monetary value of all finished goods and services within a country during the year or during the specific period, because GDP can be quarterly also. Okay, so GDP is nothing but monetary value of finished goods and services within a country in the year. You can also write, like, you can also give arrow. So this is a 3-line simple introduction. It is calculated by National Statistical Office, NSO. Okay, and then you can move to the body. Then you can say, now what did I say? First you provide the simple definition. This is the introduction. The connecting sentence. So this is the definition based introduction. Then the connecting sentence will be simply from the question itself. This is the difference between computing methodology. यहाँ मैं short form use कर रहा हूँ, don't use this, use the whole word, of GDP in India between 2015 and before 2015 and after 2015 is as follows. ये connecting statement बन गया. ये important होता है, because then the examiner can easily flow. And then here you can provide a table body में before 2015, after 2015, and you can just write the points 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever points you have, you can write those points, and just 2 lines you can even conclude this. So 150 words easily you can write this question. It's a very simple basic question they're asking you, so I don't think you should have much of a problem here at all. So this is a definition based question. Okay, similarly another question that was asked, which was definition based, I think they asked this year only, was the question was distinguish between capital budget and revenue budget. Explain the components of both these budgets. So here, of course, again they're asking you conceptual question, that what is the difference between these two budget types. So you have to give the definition of both. So answer will be, capital budget consists of capital receipts such as disinvestment capital receipts and capital expenditures. Just one example, such as any kind of development. Just example, such as expenditure on equipment. So your definition होगी capital budget. Then revenue budget. Similarly, you will give revenue budget consists of revenue receipts such as taxes and expenditure on that. And then the differences between the two are as follows. And then you will you will just create a table again. This is a table based question because they are asking for difference between the two. So capital budget and revenue budget. Now I will tell you one thing. Here the introduction can be a little different as well. Here you can write introduction such as the Indian budget consists of two major components, which is the capital budget and the revenue budget. The difference between those are as follows. So that will be just one line introduction. So that is also definition based because it depends on how you are interpreting the definition part. This will also get you marks. That will also get you marks as long as you provide enough conceptual clarity and enough points in the body itself as well. All right. The other way to write this is that no introduction. In some questions, introduction is not needed at all. In this question, since they are asking about the difference between capital budget and revenue budget, between two different kind of concepts and practices, you can directly go into the body and you can just say opening line, the difference between capital budget and revenue budget is as follows, and then you can draw this table and write the differences. Okay, apart from that, the question also has a second part, which is saying explain the components of both of these budgets. So components, whatever those are, you can just list them down and one line you can explain them. So this is no introduction type of question. So here you can write the definition also, or you can skip the definition also, depending on, of course, you have to also try to write it 150 words. If it is, you're thinking that it will come in less than 150 words, then you can write the introduction. Then finally is the short historical background with examples kind of introductions. So the short historical background and example kind of questions are those in which they are not directly asking you about a particular concept. They are just asking you about a particular historical fact or particular development of a particular kind of a literature, development of a particular kind of a way of doing thing, of a policy. So in that, you are not required to really provide definition because there is no definition, but in that there is some historical concept. So I will give you an example of that. A question this year only that was asked like that was in GS1, evaluate the nature of Bhakti literature, sorry spelling thoda gadbad ho jayegi yahan pe, and its contribution to Indian culture. Simple question. So they are asking you the nature of Bhakti literature, basically what are the characteristics, what are the things about Bhakti literature that are important, and what is the contribution. There are two parts of the question. So here the introduction will be simply historical in nature, providing some context because there is no definition of Bhakti literature, right? So Bhakti literature came into being during the socio-religious reform movement that prevailed or that were happening during medieval India. Some examples, some major examples are so you can give examples of Alvar and Nayanar movements in Tamil Nadu, right? And after that, then you can go into the nature of Bhakti, of this Bhakti literature is as follows. And then you can give various points about the nature of bhakti literature, what kind of language it developed in, what kind of things it was composed in, what kind of various social, religious points or concepts it was talked about, or various practices it was talked about. It democratized the idea of God. So all these things you can include in this. And then you have to also answer the second part, which is contribution to the Indian. So here its contribution to Indian culture is as follows. Its contribution to Indian culture is as. So यहाँ पे मैंने आपको इंट्रोडक्शन से ज़्यादा पढ़ा दिया आज इस क्लास में. I'm teaching you more than introduction. So introduction simply is like this. Then body, then if required conclusion. So here you are addressing all the parts of the question. You're providing a simple opening introduction which is giving a historical context, because obviously there is no definition of this particular event. So again, revising, most questions of UPSC require only these three types of introductions. Short historical background with example, like I have shown you here in the Bhakti movement question, Bhakti literature question, where I've given a small opening introduction about the context and then the example. Some are questions where no introduction is needed, so you can even skip. Even in this question you could, but it would be better to give introduction. Then some are where you just need to give a definition based on the concept that is asked or the keyword that is asked in the question, and then directly follow into the body with the connecting statement. Connecting statement you are requiring most questions, because here also you are showing what is the nature. So directly question में जो पूछा है वही मैं answer कर रहा हूँ. This is how you simply write answers in UPSC. It is not a rocket science. It's very simple and anyone can do it very, very well. Similarly, there are other questions. For example, there was a question on S-400 air defense system, whether it is technically superior to any other system presently available in the world. So how is it? So you just have to give the basic definition of S-400 system. The S-400 system is a mobile and surface to air missile system, SAM system, developed by Russia. Simple two-line introduction ho gaya. Then you can move into the why it is technically superior than other ones, and for that you can give various points. So see how simple it is to write introduction for answer writing. I will post this on my community, so take a look, note it down, practice it. You will practice it 10 times, 15 times, and you will become a master. Good luck. Let me know if you have any questions. Okay, bye bye.